right. Good morning and welcome to the NuSpecies Live. I am Jillian.
And I'm Aston. Good morning to you all.
All right. As you all might be getting used to, Aston is over in the Bronxville store today. So some folks might walk in. You might hear some honking outside the window. Please forgive. New York sounds. All right. Well, for those of you just joining us for the first time, welcome. NuSpecies is a natural health company. We invent and manufacture our own unique line of raw plant-based supplements and herbal medicine. Our formulas are designed to be resilient, to help your body be resilient against the toughest of health challenges. So our what you would normally think of as a supplement, NuSpecies supplements are doing a bit more heavy lifting. And, our mission is to help our clients live better and longer. But what is a good health choice for you may not be a good health choice for someone else. And that's why we host this Q&A every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. So you can get the answers to your health questions that will help you continue along your own unique health journey. And it's a privilege to have you here with us. So thank you so much, those of you on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. I will be keeping an eye on the chat over on Instagram. If you have any questions, please go ahead and just start chatting them. And those of you I can see right here from YouTube and Facebook in front of me. And so good morning, Carol. Good morning, Diana. Hi, Maxine. Hi, June. Good morning, Headley. If you don't have any questions yet, that's fine. We do appreciate to hear from you because we can see the numbers of who's watching. We can see how many people are watching, but it's always nice to hear from you. But we know a lot of you watch while you drive, so we understand you can't join the chat. All right, Aston, we can let's just talk about the discount, and then we can hop into our questions. We've got a question from Carol so far, and then we also have a pre-submitted question if nobody else posts anything. All right, so folks, this is the last weekend for the discount we are doing for November. So it is important that if you were thinking maybe that you should hold out until Thanksgiving or Black Friday, please don't do that. We don't like to do discounts around the holidays. It makes our staff crazy, and then none of us get to actually enjoy the holiday. So if we happen to do a discount around a holiday, it's always before. So this is your last weekend to cash in on 15% off of all of the products that are not already discounted. As you know, we've been keeping the upgraded formulas discounted at 20% off, and the 8-ounce God formulas have been 26% off, which is equivalent to getting a 2-ounce God formula. So those of you who need that formula and you know who you are, these savings are pretty significant. And NuGenesis, which is the newest formula that Aston invented and we just launched, has been 50% off, 50, because we really truly want every single person to try it. Because we know once you try it, there is no denying how amazing it is and how widely applicable it is to so many health issues. And we think it's just going to be so helpful, and we want to remove any barrier for you trying it. So you're welcome to stop by either store in Bronxville or Elmont, or I'm actually in HQ here in Pawling, but not for the rest of the day. But if you want to come to Pawling, just call and find out when someone will be here. We're happy to give you a taste of NuGenesis, or really a taste of any formula that we happen to have open. So if you're new to NuSpecies and that's holding you back, our products are really different. So we want you to see what they look like, to taste them, to smell them, so you know what you're getting into. We understand it's a big investment in your health, and we want to remove any barriers to you making that decision, because the longer you don't do anything, the worse the situation gets. And we want to get you when your body is really ready to fight so that you have the best chance of getting great results. So 15% off. If you, I believe there's a few different codes depending on how you find out about the discount. So if you get the text or the email, use the code that you got in those so I can see where folks are getting their information from. If you just go to the store and you let them know about the discount, they'll just pop in another code for you. So, and if you go on the website, at the very top of the website, there's a promo code up there to remind you, so you won't get stuck anywhere getting your discount. And you will be able to ring up items that are 20% off or 26% off, along with items that are 15% off. So you should have no problem placing your orders online. Otherwise, Elmont is open until 7 today, and Bronxville is open until 6. Sunday, we are closed completely. We're not even answering the phone, so go ahead and place your orders online, and then you still have until Monday to get your last chance in. Anything from you, Aston, on that?
Well, yes, Monday we only have one of our stores open, which is Almond. So you can go into Almond on Monday, wherever you are in the tri-state, or wherever you are. We open Monday in Almond 11 to 7. And I'm here today in Bronxville. Almond is also open today from 11 to 7. But I'm here in Bronxville today from now until 6 o'clock. So feel free to come over. And if you're going to come, bring your labs, bring your images, whatever you have from your doctors, medication, your medical documents, just bring them over. I can take a quick look at them for you and get you on track as to what you should be doing with your health. All right.
All right, great. We'll remind you about the discount again later in the show. All right, let's get started. This is one of my favorite questions because this is one of my our big things that we always talk about. Carol Johnson asks, says, "Good morning, Aston and Jillian. I hope all's well. It is. I got up this morning with an itchy throat. Any suggestions? Thanks."
Why is this your favorite?
Because that's one of those stressful things where you feel that itchy throat and you're like, oh no, my next 4 days are ruined, right? Because you just assume it's the beginning and you're going to be sick and there's nothing you can do. But that's just not the case with NuSpecies. Whether it's LNU1, LNU25, or now NuGenesis, you can wipe that itch out. Even with just sometimes, like if you only have the lymph node, I used to rely on that guy, or maybe some colloidal silver. I mean, we have quite a few options that for a lot of people just do the trick, and you don't fall into that fate of like 4 days of being sick and now your week is ruined.
Right. So your best option now, based on all the evidence we have seen, is the NuGenesis. So Carol, if you have NuGenesis, you get some and swallow it slowly. That's what you do with formula like the NuGenesis if you're having a throat issue. If you have any kind of an infection in the throat or the mouth, swallow it very slowly. Just feel it dripping, rolling slowly down your throat. And you can also gargle, but if you gargle, you just spit it out. But that's what you do with NuGenesis. I've heard from a lot of people who have been taking it from around the world, actually, and they're saying that NuGenesis is helping them tremendously with colds, infection, flus. Some of them said they thought they were going to get it. They always would get it, but NuGenesis has kept it away. So, Carol, if you don't have NuGenesis, get a bottle. And all of you should have it for the winter, especially for your children. You should have a NuGenesis at home. Get a bottle, keep it at home, and I'm telling you, I think it can be. I am sure it can be your cold flu supplement. It's completely natural, as you all guess, and you should get a NuGenesis and have it at home. And if you want to do something stronger, you can do any of the God formulas, especially the God Formula 4. It's our antiviral. The God Formula 4 is our antiviral. It's our antibacterial, antimicrobial. So you can also get a God Formula 4. And imagine if you're taking both the NuGenesis and God Formula 4. Just imagine what it's going to do for your immune system to kill the little bugs. That's what they are, bugs. So if you have itchy throat or sore throat, yes, you probably have virus or a combination of virus and bacteria trying to get into your stomach, get into your lung, get into your body to cause infection. So yes, NuGenesis, number one. And if you want to go crazy, NuGenesis with the God Formula 4, which is our antimicrobial formula. And of course, the NuGenesis is half off for now. Eventually will change. We don't know when as yet. And the God formula, you're going to get between 20 and 26% off. So you're all in good shape right now. And by the way, what I say, it goes for all of you. All of you should be at least on New Genesis, or you should have a bottle at home. All of you.
Mhm. Because like all of our formulas, you can use them every day like a supplement at a lower dose, or you can take them in higher doses, kind of like medicine when you have a more urgent need. So you can keep some of the products you can just sort of keep around for those moments when you need like your first aid kit
Mhm.
versus like the God Formula 4. It's expensive, but if you're going to let it stretch out for 6 months to a year, it doesn't really work out to be that expensive in the end. Carol's asking, is that what Jillian takes to let hers disappear so fast? So, Carol, as you probably can guess, I've been taking NuSpecies for 16 years. So, before New Genesis, I would take LNU 1 or LNU 25, whichever one we had open. And that would work for me. Sometimes I may have to go back up for a couple more doses in the same day. I find with New Genesis, that one dose really does the trick. Unless I've caught like a really nasty bug, because sometimes the kids bring home Lord knows what. It doesn't even get, you test for it in the doctor's office and they don't even know what it is. Um, but mostly New Genesis I find to be a bit more reliable for those immediate viral or bacterial infections. All right, so now we've got a question from, June said, total cholesterol is 232. Um, total cholesterol to HDL ratio 3.36. Is it still a concern?
It's a concern a little bit. You want to get it below 200, 199 and below, and even 180 below, probably even better. Especially if you're over 40, over 50, you really want to get your cholesterol way below the 200 marker because once the body turns 40, 50, it's just not the same. It's not as strong. The muscles are not as strong. The liver is not as strong. The liver is what our bodies use to process the foods we eat, and it's also what the body uses to detox the body. It's the liver that's doing all the detoxification of our bodies. So when the organs start getting weaker, the muscles start getting weaker, our bodies just don't process things foods the way it used to when you were younger, moving around. And by the way, I have clients who are teenagers and they have very, very bad cholesterol, very high cholesterol, even as teenagers. So this is not even an age-related issue anymore. And that's why cancer is now massively on the rise among young people and older people, especially younger people. And when we say younger people, we're talking about 20 up. So you want to get your cholesterol around 180. And anyone who has high cholesterol, the best thing I can think of for anyone who has high cholesterol is to do the LNU, do two of the LNUs, the LNU 1 and the LNU 9, take an ounce in the morning of one and an ounce in the evening of the other. And if it's the LNU 25, it's going to work even faster. So you would do the LNU 25 and the LNU 9 if you want to really go crazy, if you're really concerned about blockages in your blood vessels, especially if you have any predisposition regarding the heart, any heart issue that could be there with any heart related issue. Then you really want to go crazy and do the LNU 9 along with the LNU 25 and take an ounce of each and do it for a month, maybe a month or two, and redo your labs, and you will see the results will be different. It will be tremendously better, even if the cholesterol is not completely normal. So I would say the best we have for high cholesterol is to do the LNU 9 and take an ounce in the morning, and do the LNU 25 and take an ounce of that in the evening as well. And that goes for all of you. I don't care what your age groups are. Cholesterol is probably the number one cause of heart diseases. And heart disease is the number one killer of the human species. So I like to always give you all the facts so you know what you're dealing with in the future. If you have certain issues and don't fix them, those issues lead to other issues, sometimes even life-threatening issues. But 232 is not a life-threatening issue, but you want to get it ideally below 199, the safe zone.
I'm linking to the LNU formulas on the shop. There's just like one page where you can see them all. So,
and while you're doing that, I'll just say this for anyone who has a family history of high cholesterol. If you do, it is likely genetic. It may not just be dietary. So if you have a family history where your mother, your father, your grandmother, uncle or aunt, brother or sister seem to have high cholesterol issues, you need to be concerned because you could be a carrier of the mutated gene that could be causing the liver to make excess cholesterol. That's actually what happened. What's happening is the liver is making excess cholesterol when it really doesn't need to. Our bodies use cholesterol primarily as raw materials to make hormones and to help to repair tissues and cells and the organs in general. That's one of the primary purposes of cholesterol. Our bodies even use cholesterol to make vitamin D, which is a hormone. And a lot of you may not know that vitamin D is actually a hormone. It is not a vitamin. We could talk about that if you have questions about that, the distinction between vitamins and this so-called vitamin D. But our hormone, our cholesterol, that's what the purpose of it is to use to do all these repairs to our cells and tissue, because cholesterol is very, very fat, very heavy, and it has a lot of materials in it. So our body uses those chemical structures in the cholesterol to do repairs in cells and tissues and organs. So LNU9, LNU25, take one in the morning, one in the evening. It's the best way to get your cholesterol down very quickly. And if you do that, within 3 months, your cholesterol should go back to normal. Even if it's 300, it should.
Now, if somebody wanted to be aggressive and maybe make some dietary changes, what would be like 1 or 2 top things you'd say they should do?
So that's a great question. And I usually don't go into a lot of diets because people don't, even people who come to me and they have the worst health issues, even cancer, and they will not change your diets. So if you recall, Jill, that's why we decided to make some of the formulas so potent, is
Right.
to overcome the bad habits of our clients. Because clients would say to me, well, if I can keep eating my chicken, what other formula I can buy so that I can eat my chicken and it won't hurt me if it has hormones in it, or if it's causing my cholesterol to go through the roof. So that's what people would normally ask me. So diet, when it comes to cholesterol, oils in general, if you are consuming any oil, whether it's butter, cooking oil, and I don't care if it's raw, natural, organic oil, it doesn't matter. If it's synthetic oil, it's worse, especially a lot of oils some people use on their skin and their hair, etc. Those are just awful. But even if you have an issue where there's a genetic problem with cholesterol, your body will not function the way it should. It won't happen if you're eating those foods, even if they're natural and organic. Your body just can't process it, and that's what your body is telling you. Your body is telling you that the genes that are responsible for making those proteins, amino acids, to supply the liver with the raw material to make cholesterol, to repair the organs, or to make hormones, and to support the body in general, those genes are probably mutated, or they're not healthy. They're not functioning the way they should function. So even if you cut out all these foods out of your diet, your body could still end up having marginally high cholesterol.
Mm. Are there but still it can only help to do that, right? It wouldn't be a
Oh,
reason to.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Anyone who has high cholesterol, I think diet you should be thinking that diet is mandatory. In addition to what I recommend that you can take from NuSpecies, and if you implement these dietary practices and take the NuSpecies I recommend, your body will get better even faster.
Right. Okay. All right. Diana's question is, I have been let me put it up here. I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this statin correctly, but I have been taking rosuvastatin calcium 10 milligrams. My doctor said not to take vitamin E, but I want to take a multivitamin. What would be your recommendation? Thank you.
So, so your doctor wants you to take cholesterol medication, and that you should not take vitamin E. You and I talked about vitamin E just earlier this week.
Right, and a lot of times when doctors say that, they're thinking about standard supplements that are completely chemical, just made in a lab, and so they could potentially interact with medication or create or be hard to digest or be damaging for your health. A lot of that stuff doesn't apply to NuSpecies because all of our formulas are either the actual whole food themselves, which is like eating food, or our vitamins are extracted from a food source. So they were not made in a lab. And so often this kind of advice doesn't apply to our products. But in the case of a multivitamin, we sell vitamin E separately anyway, just because to get it from a whole food source, it's an oil and we can't mix it with the formulas we make for the rest of our vitamins. So you wouldn't have to worry about that being in our multi. So if you were to take our B vitamins complex with vitamin C, that's going to give you all of your B vitamins, vitamin C. We also include alfalfa in there so that you can get a pretty diverse range of other vitamins. So that would be a great multivitamin. If you're already taking an L-Nu formula, that has the same per dose amounts of your multivitamins in it. So you wouldn't need to do both unless you had a severe deficiency that you were trying to correct.
So that's awesome. So let's go back to what I said initially. Also, if you have a cholesterol issue and it's genetic, you will likely develop high cholesterol where the medication won't even work for you. So what I said before is that even if you're eating healthy foods, completely natural, completely organic, completely healthy, if you have that genetic issue with high cholesterol, and that goes for all diseases, that goes for all health issues that are genetically related, even if you're taking that pure, natural, clean, vitamin E, vitamin D, it can push your cholesterol up. And a lot of you who have come to me who are taking a lot of vitamin D on the markets, and you all should go back and check if you have high cholesterol. A lot of the vitamin D on the market, I have seen, by the way, folks, everything I say to you is what I know from working with now. I can say easily tens of thousands of you worldwide. I talk with you one-on-one. I read your labs, I read your imaging. So nothing I'm saying to you is theoretical. Nothing. Nothing I've ever said to any of you is theoretical. I don't engage in theory. So what I'm saying to you now is that if you have high cholesterol and you have a genetic issue, your doctors may not be able to diagnose your diet if you have a genetic issue. But if you have high cholesterol, you're taking any oil, I don't care how natural it is. Vitamin E is the oil. Vitamin D is the oil because they're fat soluble. They have a lot of fat, they have a lot of cholesterol, and the molecules are huge. That's why you need a gallbladder to, it's the number one purpose of our gallbladder is to help us to digest these type of foods, this type of oil. It helps the liver to break down these massive protein molecules that you have in like vitamin E, vitamin D, meat products, oil products, dairy products. So your doctor may be saying to you, you should not do vitamin E because it could push your cholesterol up. A lot of you come to me who are taking certain vitamin E in the market, certain vitamin D in the market is blowing your cholesterol to the roof. And those can cause heart disease. They can cause heart disease. Once you have too much fat in the blood vessels going into the heart or blocking the blood vessels, it can cause heart disease. It can cause vascular issues and it can cause heart disease. And then if you're troubled with blood clot issues, it will make it worse, way worse. So you see, everything here is so connected, so intimately connected with our health that sometimes you can't separate one health issue from another. Maybe your doctors can't find a connection, but it's likely there's a connection that's there.
And I'm not sure how this may or may not impact the situation, but your body can store vitamin E unlike other vitamins. So if you are taking too much, your body's going to keep storing it, and then it can put it to use. So if you took too much, you could wait weeks before you took more, and your body would continue to use it. So if you're taking too much, or you're taking a form of vitamin E that your body really can't process at all, um, you could do some damage.
I know a lot of you are probably saying, I've never heard any of this before. I've been taking my vitamin D. My doctor said I should take vitamin D. My doctor say, I should take vitamin E or take multivitamin and all of this. And now I'm hearing that I may be doing the wrong thing. The hell, yes. Most of you are doing the wrong thing, have been doing the wrong thing. And maybe because of those health advice they've gotten from Google or social media or other people who don't know what they're saying are causing you to get sick. A lot of you who are coming to me, you're getting sick because you are diligently doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, and I mean, up like over 20 years ago, we were too, right?
Well, I
Before,
know I was.
yeah, because we were doing our best with the supplements we had available to us, and yeah, I mean, I remember you taking me to Mrs. Green's over in I don't know, Mount Kisco or something
Mayo Pack.
in Mayapack, right? Um, and we were like going down the aisle, and you were like, "All right, maybe you need this, maybe you need that," but none of that stuff really worked. Um, Good thing I wasn't diligently doing it enough to hurt myself, but all right. From
Yeah.
Headley, Headley asks, Aston, how many days do I need to get off of the detox and cleanse prior to doing a colonoscopy?
Maybe 1 day, 1 day, 2 days. I mean, the bottom line is that you don't really have to because they're going to give you this stuff to flush everything out of your intestine and your colon.
Yeah, I
Um,
think
the, the,
the bigger issue is the Cascara sagrada that stains the tissues of the colon, which is perfectly normal, but it
Mhm.
does make it darker in there, and it can annoy the doctor if they can't see the tissue very clearly. But I don't know. Do you have any idea how long it would take for that stain to fade?
Maybe a week or two
Okay.
because it's natural. It's chlorophyll, people. So it's a chlorophyll in that.
Yeah.
So over time, the body will just use that, whatever, the excesses are and the walls of the intestine of the colon. Eventually, the body just absorbs that. I mean, we have heard clients say this to us for 20 years or so, and every single one has been fine. So we know the doctors the camera is just picking up things that the doctor just can't explain. And it's the same with any health issue people have. You know, the doctors don't know what they see and they guess, and that's why they end up taking other medical procedures for other health issues, not for this. So this is just tell you that watch what you're eating because they seem sure it's related to whatever you're eating. But in this case, if it's the detox causing it, you're fine.
Mhm.
You're 100% fine. Our detox, I should say, the NuSpecies detox. If it's the NuSpecies detox causing it, you're fine because everything we have at NuSpecies is natural.
Um, okay. Diana followed up just because she was asking about the multivitamin, no vitamin E, taking the statin, that she has
Mhm.
one clogged artery in her neck. So it sounds
Mhm.
like why she's probably told not to take that.
Right. So I just mentioned, the blockage caused from cholesterol or fatty foods that the liver just can't digest. That's what's happening, folks. The large particles are getting into the bloodstream, and that shouldn't happen. The liver is supposed to break it down, and 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 that's why all these cholesterol-related issues, they're liver issues. So I would say anyone who has high cholesterol, they should, monitor their lab reports and make sure that their liver is always in good shape, particularly the bilirubin. You all should, this is another thing that I hope you all are making notes like June. And when we tell you, to check your lab reports, when you do it, you all should just sit down, get a cup of tea or a cup of water, and you should look at the high and lows, and you should understand what they mean. So if you have high cholesterol and any of your liver markers are off, the protein is the liver marker, the AST, ALT, the alkaline phosphatase, the bilirubin, all of those are liver related. If they're too low, one is too low, one is too high, there's a liver issue brewing. So, and you
No
want to
one's
fix
gonna
it.
remember anything you just you just rattled off. But the point is, Aston knows. So if you want to know, just
Call me. If you have your labs, and just call me.
okay.
Or if you have it now and you look at it and you see any highs in it or lows, ask us about it now. So pull out all your labs. I didn't realize that what I said was gibberish.
Yes, total gibberish.
Yeah.
Okay. um, all right, just tracking a few random little comments here. June did say that she will send you her recent labs, which you did promise, I feel like a few weeks ago, June. So maybe you just got them in. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So yes says he or she, sorry, I don't know, they would like to get a little bit of a synopsis on New Genesis, which we will do. But I want to quickly follow up with yes also asked, what about D3 and K2? So, if you could be more specific what you mean about that, like what about it? Like, do you need them? Are they dangerous for high cholesterol? These are typically vitamins you're going to find isolated, sold in isolation. And, vitamin K is a vitamin that actually, like B12, is produced by bacteria. And if
Mm-hmm.
we promote healthy gut bacteria, those little friendly guys will actually produce B12 and will produce K2 or will produce vitamin K. I'm not sure about the K2. And so that's really the most biologically appropriate way to get those vitamins. D3 is, again, vitamin D is a hormone. Your body is supposed to produce it. That typically happens when the sun hits our skin, which for a lot of us, we're not doing enough of. And so the best way we have currently found to help increase vitamin D levels is because in the liver of the cod, a cod liver produces the hormone vitamin D. And so when we consume the raw cod liver oil from a wild cod, right? We source from wild Norwegian cod. That wild cod produces vitamin D in their liver. And then when we consume the raw oil from their liver, we're getting the vitamin D that they produced. Now, if that oil, like a lot of cod liver oil or just fish oil on the market, if that oil was processed with heat, which is very common, you've now damaged the structure of that hormone or vitamin D and probably aren't getting what you think you're getting from it. And then you're really just consuming straight oil, which, as we've said, is not a great choice for health. So it does get a little bit tricky. And unfortunately, the most appropriate ways to get vitamins is to be just eating a really healthy diet, keeping our gut really strong so those friendly microbes can produce those more rare vitamins that are just very hard to supplement or find a good source of. Um, and again, when you're buying all your vitamins individually, you're sort of playing chemist to like say how much you think you need and how long you need it for, and are you getting your labs often enough to know if you're doing the right thing. It gets kind of complicated when humans try to reverse engineer what God and our bodies have already decided know how to do, right? What we need to do is just get closer to that way of natural living, rather than continue to get further from it and try to start playing scientist ourselves by looking at this shelf with 1 million products on it and sort of picking all these vitamins out individually. This is why NuSpecies focuses mostly on our whole food formulas, where you're getting the whole diversity of nutrients, and we let your body decide how to process them and what to do with them. And unless you have a particular deficiency that's causing a major problem, I wouldn't start getting into isolating vitamins and cherry picking what you think you need for your health. Do you want to add anything else to that, Austin, or we can move back to the question about New Genesis?
So, folks, if you trust us, just take the NuSpecies vitamin D and be done with it. Once you get into D1, D2, D3, you're just lost. You will be lost. What we have found from all the work we have done is that the NuSpecies vitamin D and A is the next best source of vitamin D to the sun. That's all I can tell you. To go off down into the discussions about D1, D2, D3, K1, K2, I can tell you that once you get off that road, you're now in the rabbit holes of chemicals or compounds, and you really don't want to go down that path. It's not going to help you.
Yeah.
So
yes,
we have a vitamin D that we take pains to make pure for you. Take out vitamin D and A.
Yeah, Yes was specifically asking if vitamin D or vitamin K are dangerous for high cholesterol, but I don't think it's really about the vitamin itself. It's about the source, where you're getting it from, how
Right.
much you're taking, right? So if you don't go down that rabbit hole of isolating vitamins and playing scientist, you shouldn't have to worry about that because your body will know what to do when you're taking a whole food source of nutrients. Okay.
Right.
So June was saying, oh, I don't know. She said, "You can see me, Aston." Making notes, probably. I watch if that's what you're referring to. We just know you're so diligent, June. Cherie says, "Good morning, everyone. Have a wonderful and blessed day. Don't give up on me, please. I fell off again, Aston, shaking my head." Charisse, I don't know if you're the Charisse with last name M who maybe has a package sitting in Bronxville for the last 4 months, or if you did pick it up and we didn't make a note, then let us know because I'll put those products back on the shelf.
I think she came in.
Okay. Listen, we'll never give up on anyone. Only you can give up on yourself. We will always be here ready to help you. What we don't want you to do to us is come to us when it's likely too late and then we can't help you. That's what really upsets us. It's like part of our nightmare.
Could you say that again, please? Because it's devastating, folks, when you come to us with a health issue and it's too late. And we know it's too late. We're afraid to tell you it's too late. Please don't wait until it's too late to come to us. If you're taking medication, you need us. If you're taking chemo, you need us. If you're taking radiation, you need us. Because a lot of times those medications don't work for a lot of people. And then when you come to us, your body is broken and devastated, destroyed. So if you're taking any medication, even for the common cold, get your butts to NuSpecies. Get your behinds to NuSpecies. And that's as close as I'm going to go to cursing. Okay? You get the point.
Asa, we have a question over on Instagram. Yeah. So the question is, is it true that your brain needs cholesterol?
Oh, yeah. The brain uses a massive amount of power, and most of the energy in the human body actually come from oils or fat or cholesterol, because that's why the protein molecules are so massive. So the mitochondria, and I don't want to get off into things now that Jill is going to call gibberish, but the mitochondria, the mitochondria is the energy center, the battery of the body. We have thousands of millions of mitochondria in our body, or mitochondrial tissues in our bodies, so our batteries. So oil, actually, if your body is really healthy, you're exercising, and you have good oxygenation, that's where certain foods that are high in protein can enhance your energy level, not the fake protein, chemical protein that a lot of you buy for workout, and they probably put stuff in there that can damage your hormonal system. So the coenzyme, that protein, that's why it's so popular, but people don't realize that they're not buying it naturally. because it has a lot of protein molecules or whatever protein. Everything is protein, folks. Let's get one thing straight. Every food is protein. Every food. All foods are protein. Every cell in our body is a protein molecule. The average adult has over 80 trillion cells. Every single cell is a protein molecule. Everything in our body, on our body, is made from protein. So let's get that straight. So yes, our bodies will never get protein deficiency because we're all protein, and the body is going to always take tissues, take something from some organs, the bone or some muscles to make if some part of the body is falling apart, the body is always going to steal from other parts of the body to supply that piece of the body that's falling apart. So we're all protein molecules, and that's why it's important to exercise and eat healthy, so that when you eat healthy and you exercise, the blood circulation will be better to utilize these proteins. When we are sitting down, like I'm sitting now for hours right here, not moving, not doing much, that's when protein becomes a problem. It can become acidic, and it can lead to a lot of other health issues. But yes, the brain uses a massive amount of energy. The brain uses more energy than any other organ in the body.
Yeah, and this is like a standard, kind of like a 101 for a lot of folks is they get used to hearing about high blood pressure to the point where they say, I have blood pressure, as if blood pressure is the disease, or high cholesterol turns into I have cholesterol. We all have blood pressure. If we don't, we're dead. We want to have blood pressure. Our blood pressure should go up and down throughout the day, depending on our stress levels, if we're exercising, if we're in pain. But the problem is when the blood pressure stays up and never comes down. With cholesterol, we need cholesterol to survive. Our body produces it. It's part of a healthy body. It's when it's out of balance that it becomes unhealthy. And this is the same thing. Like we'll have a lot of men come in and say, I have prostate. Yes, every man has a prostate unless it's been removed, and that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. It's if you have a prostate disease now, like prostatitis or enlarged prostate or things like that. So, don't be careful when you're starting to think that like because where there is treatments for something that it means that something is entirely bad. And for an example, and we've talked about this before, inflammation. We think that inflammation is just unilaterally bad, but a lot of inflammation in our body is designed to help us temporarily correct things. It's when that inflammation becomes chronic and never goes away. So we'll always continue to redefine things like that for you. All right. The last question I have currently, so feel free if there's any more questions. We have about 15 minutes to go, is from Brenda. Good morning, Aston. My question is, do we actually have to do a colonoscopy? And if so, how often?
I think that everyone should do a colonoscopy at least every 4 or 5 years. And now with the rise of the insurance company probably won't pay for it, but with the rise of cancer, the rise of digestive cancer, the rise of colorectal cancer, I think that everybody should do a colonoscopy probably every 2 years, because the digestive tract is where it seems most diseases start from, whether it's the mouth, because of those powerful bacteria that reside in the cavities of the mouth, all the way down to the stomach. And then once it passed the stomach, you are entering, the part of the body that has the most bacteria and viruses and microbes, the small intestine, to the large intestine, to the rectum. So because of that, it is very easy to get tumors or lumps or polyps or inflammation in the digestive tract. And sometimes if the inflammation or infection is in the rectum or the the large intestine, which is the colon, it can move up to the stomach and cause stomach issues. So that whole area, the stomach, the intestine, the colon, that's where there's a high rise of cancer, especially colorectal cancer, among certain demographic. And I would say, especially in North America, but the world in general is experiencing that. So I would say if the insurance will pay for it, they won't. Your insurance, everybody should be doing a colonoscopy probably every 2 years. Every 2 years because the insurance pays for like 5 or more, but every 2 years because that's the amount of time it takes for a disease to grow and fully mature into cancer or something chronic like colitis, like any of the Crohn's, any of the autoimmune diseases that exist in the digestive system, and any of the cancers that grow there. So, and since your insurance will not pay for it, that's why you all should be taking, the responsibility in yourselves to start eating better and exercising and take the NuSpecies detox. It will help tremendously. I'm not going to say it's going to prevent, all the things that can happen in the digestive tract, but you all should be taking the NuSpecies detox. Everybody, even your children, should be taking it as well, because a lot of these young people in their 20s and 30s who are getting cancers, when I talk with them, they come in and see me, they were sick from they were teenagers and just didn't know. And by the time they get to their mid-teen to their 30s, they have stage 2, stage 4 cancer. That's how bad it is. And it's not just the digestive, it's the whole body. It's the whole body, folks. Cancer is on the rise across the organs in the human body. Take heed.
All right, so we're going to wrap up talking about NuGenesis. We have a question from Instagram regarding whether someone who's diabetic can use NuGenesis, but then also yes, I asking specifically about giving a summary about NuGenesis. So maybe we could address. I think I had missed that Instagram question like probably 20 minutes ago. So I told her already in the chat, yes, absolutely. You could take NuGenesis if you have diabetes, but you may want to be more specific about, why it would be beneficial.
Right. So we have a diabetes system, and we have added NuGenesis to the digestive to the diabetes brother system that we have. We have various systems or options for diabetes. So you can call us and we can help you to decide which one you meets your budget or which one is best suited for you, depending on what your A1C is. But yes, you can. We're going to add NuGenesis to all the health options we have at NuSpecies. All the packages, all the health options, we're adding NuGenesis because NuGenesis is the formula, and some of you are going to hear this again, so please bear with our new listeners or viewers.
Actually, what I will say, though, in case anyone doesn't want to hear about NuGenesis again for the next 10 minutes, don't forget that our 15% off is ending on Monday. If you go to our website, the promo code is right at the top of the site in the announcement bars. And then if you call us, our team will just put in the code for you. If you got our email or our text, there's a specific promo code there. Please use that one just so I know where people are getting our notifications from. And then you've got until Monday night. We're closed on Sunday completely, so you have to order online on Sunday. And Monday, we're only open in Elmont. But you can call and place orders as well. Okay, now we get back to NuGenesis.
Okay, so no, folks. Doesn't matter what your doctors tell you. Doesn't matter what anyone tells you. Dr. Google, Dr. Facebook, Dr. YouTube, Dr. whatever the social media, whatever they tell you. If you have a health issue that the body is not fixing within a very short period of time, maybe a month or 2, 3 at max, you have a genetic issue. You have a gene issue. You have a genetic problem. You have a DNA problem. Something has afflicted the DNA and the gene. That's why that issue exists. And that's why the body can't fix it. And that's why the medication won't fix it. And that's why you're going to be on the medication for life. blood pressure, diabetes, autoimmune, all of it, cancer, all of them. That's why they won't fix. If you don't
Aspen,
fix the
can
genes and the
I interrupt
DNA,
you?
yes,
So the same woman asking about Nugenesis for diabetes said, "Thank you. I've been on your diabetic formula for 3 years now, and it worked wonders. So thank you, Aston, for your help."
you are welcome. You're welcome. And I'm going to get your name and your address so I can send you a bill for fixing your diabetes. Now, let's get back to Nugenesis.
Don't listen to him.
Nugenesis is designed to help the body, help our bodies to fix any DNA and gene issues. DNA is the root of our life. It is the root, functional root of our life. All living creatures, all living things. DNA is the root of it. And DNA makes genes. So when the genes are bad, it's likely the DNA is bad. When the DNA is bad, it is likely the genes is bad. Unfortunately for all of us, there's no testing. There's no medical testing available to us to know what is actually wrong and what genes are implicated. There's no, the scientists can isolate a few genes here or there to tell us what is the P53, the most important anti-cancer gene we have, and they stumbled into it a few years ago or some years not too long ago. The P53 can all Google it, and even that they don't understand how to fix that one gene, including all the BRCA, the other BRCA genes. Now look at it, people. Trillions of dollars over the years have been spent on these issues, and still, last year, I think over 9 million people died of cancer, and most of them were in treatment. Do you hear the people? So there's no cure. So when you do radiation, chemo, you're just hoping it will work. And it does work for some people. It does. Medication does help some people. The Nugenesis is designed to rebuild your genes and DNA. That's the root cause of all diseases. And speaking of diseases, diseases are just symptoms, as Jillian was saying to you earlier. If you have high blood pressure, it's because something else has gone wrong. Nothing is wrong with you having high blood pressure. It's your body telling you something is wrong. So the blood pressure is not what's wrong. The high blood pressure is not what's wrong. The cancer is not what's wrong. The diabetes is not what's wrong. It's what's happening before that at the DNA and genetic level. And that's what NuSpecies is. Our formulas are designed to help your body, to help your body to fix these issues. That's what Nugenesis is. It helps to rebuild the genes and DNA. And now, those of you who are taking Nugenesis, you're telling me you're having massive amount of energy. A lot of you are so happy with Nugenesis because you're taking it, and guess what? The foods you're eating now, your body going to absorb those foods better. The NuSpecies you're taking along with Nugenesis, the NuSpecies formulas or products are going to work better to help you to rebuild your body and fix your body. Your body doing the fixing in that sense. So that is the sole purpose of Nugenesis. And then there's a whole lot that goes into it that maybe one day we can do a podcast, Joe, and drill down into how Nugenesis works. Well, a lot of you probably don't care how it works. As long as it works, that's what you really care about. But if you want, we can get into it at some point.
Right. The real thing is that like every single one of our formulas can be used in a diversity of ways, because that's the beauty of using the whole foods, is that many of them have overlapping properties, but each of our formulas, it kind of leans in one direction or another, and they're there to create like a nutritional buffet or toolbox that your body's going to pick from. Because when we try to target something too specific, you can miss, or you're only really treating a symptom or remedying like a band-aid. What we want to do is empower your body to actually fix the problem. And so it requires a different mindset, it requires a different set of tools. And it does make our product line a little confusing, and we understand that, which is why we're here on this Q&A every Saturday to make sure we continue to answer your questions, no matter how many times you ask them, no matter how many times you say you lost track and now you're back. We're always here for you. We just want you to value your life enough to remember that life is short, and one day we look up, and I know I'm young, but I really do pay attention to my elders, and I see that one day they look up and they're like, where has my life gone? How have I gotten myself into this situation? So we want to really appreciate that we're all going to die, and that really heightens our appetite for our daily life. And we don't want to be burdened by sickness. We don't want to be wasting time sitting in waiting rooms and booking appointments and updating insurance information and answering the same questions 1,000 times for 5 different specialists and getting prescriptions and getting over the counter remedies and all this stuff. It wastes so much time. It wastes so much money when we could be just living our life. And so when we choose to put this, fried meat in our mouth over this salad, we're deciding whether we're giving up maybe the next couple of years of our life. And when we choose to eat vegetables, fruit, nuts, seeds, beans, um, all kinds of herbs and spices and whole grains, we're choosing to free up our future for life, not for sickness. When you choose to use NuSpecies formulas over other supplements where you're crossing your fingers and you're not even sure if they're helping you, you're choosing your life. And that's what we're here for. And we'll always help you make that choice. If you haven't chosen it, we can't help you. But we know you're all here right now because you are choosing your life. And we fight the same fight every single day for ourselves, for our children. So we know exactly what you're going through. And we're right in it. Aston, I hear Bronxville is spicing up.
Yes. Yes.
May says, I've been on NuSpecies off and on for over 15 years now, and I want to thank you for what you do. God bless you both. Give thanks. Aston, I'll visit you next week in the Westchester store.
Okay.
Look forward to seeing you. Cherie says, thank you. And Floyd is going on about cleanse, cleanse, cleanse. He's agreeing with you about the detox and keeping your body clean. Bad Kid Ava says NuSpecies is the best. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, everybody, we have reached the end. We got over on Instagram, Micey saying, I will definitely start taking, I hope someone will answer or return my call to place my order, as I do not do online purchases. Totally understand. We are a bit inundated with phone calls. As long as your call came in during the discount period, if we don't get back to you until after it's over, it's no problem. We'll still give you the discount. You just got to get that phone call or email or text message in during the discount, and then we'll take care of you, okay? But someone will get back to you. If not today, then Monday or Tuesday. All right, my season, don't worry about that. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be with you today. Have a wonderful weekend.
I hope this was helpful, and you can prepare your questions for next week. I hope a lot of you are going to come in next week with questions on cancer and why it's rising, and family members you have who need help and how you can help them marginally. We have some new packages options that cost a lot less that we are coming out with to make sure we accommodate all of you. So we're always thinking about how we can best help all of you. So look out for those new packages. They're going to be out probably before the end of this month.
Absolutely. Bad Kid Eva says, Aston, my father is doing great. It's Mrs. Carr.
Okay, wonderful. Thank the Lord.
Hey, woohoo! All right, love that information. Okay, everybody, we love you. Thank you so much for being here. Please tell other people about our stream. Before you leave, if you're on YouTube or Facebook, please follow us and like us and subscribe to our channel. The more you subscribe, the more it tells other people about us. You can share the URL to our live streams with anyone, let's say on your WhatsApp family group, because, I think we want to take the burden off of you having to tell everybody about NuSpecies. invite them to the Q&A. Let them ask their tough questions. We're cool with that. We don't mind if people are skeptical. We don't mind if they're like at the way beginning of what NuSpecies is, or how we help people. We just want to make sure one at a time we keep helping as many people as we possibly can. All right, so subscribe to our channel. Take advantage of the 15% off. It ends on Monday. There is no other discount for this month, so please don't hold out. And as long as you get your text message, phone call, or email in before the discount is over, we will get back to you as soon as we can and place your order, okay? All right, Diana, you have a great weekend too. Bless, bless, bless. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.